Let's fucking go.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus. You're very welcome to this live stream, random live stream on a Saturday. So kind of did this last week. I'm going to do it again this week. Yeah, let's have a look at the chat and see who is here. So we've got, as always, pinned the comment that is pinned to the chat, or the pinned comment to the chat, whatever you want to call it, is the link to consider becoming a channel member. So if you want to become a channel member, click on that link and follow the rest of the details, and you get different perks which you might see appearing kind of later on throughout the show. So again, no obligation, but it is greatly appreciated. It just helps me support the channel, pay for StreamYard, upgrade displays, that kind of thing. So greatly appreciated. And thank you to the existing channel members, both troopers and commanders. Geo, how are you doing? Morning Collector Shane. So we had Geo the movie canon on the show, I think the Hope show, not Monday gone, Monday before that, so thanks very much. We got usually a panel member, a channel member, and owner of the coveted Blue Wrench. We've got Phil, aka Rogue One Photography. Hard luck yesterday. Phil's from Wales, and they got absolutely destroyed by France in the rugby, their opening game of the Six Nations. I think he was anticipating it, but hopefully Ireland have better luck against England today. Thanks for being here, Phil. Much appreciated. Thanks for modding. We've got Jose Plus, the fact checker here himself. Morning. How are you doing? Hola, Jose. ¿Cómo estás? Tu eres guapa. I hope I've got all that right. Yeah, we got Geo saying hello to Jose. We got Ryan, channel member. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, watching, commenting. Obviously, your input and channel member, your contribution that way, really appreciate it. Shiny is correct. Harley looks delighted that she is now Artisan. Okay, we've got, who else? We have Universal Key. Thanks very much for being here. We got 14 people watching live. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching the replay, much appreciated. Please do the same if you like the content. All right. So I'll just, before we go to this stuff, just what we're going to be talking about today, I'm going to stay on here for probably about an hour. We'll see how it goes. That's my intention, an hour. I might stay a little bit longer, but I've got to be off here by, I've got to be off in an hour and a half, basically 4:30 my time, which is probably an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 18 minutes from now. I definitely have to be off because Ireland are playing in the rugby, and it's the opening game of the Six Nations 2025, and they're playing against England, so I want to go downstairs and watch that. And Phil, yeah, you're not wrong. So hopefully they can kickstart their Six Nations campaign 2025 by getting the win over England, and they're playing at home. Folks, if you are one of the 4,398 subscribers, that is greatly appreciated. When I started the channel, I didn't think I'd get past 100. In fairness, the first 100 was an absolute grind. First 1,000 was tough as well. But since then, you know, obviously you appreciate all your subscribers, but with the accumulation of shorts and the content and unboxings and reviews and pre-order previews and display tips and collection reviews and live stream stuff like that, obviously we've garnered a lot more subscribers, and we have channel memberships like I mentioned already, and it's all greatly appreciated. So 4,398, we're on our way to 5k, slowly and surely, steadily, hopefully we will get there. So the channel members, like I said, the pinned comment in the live chat is the link if you wish to become a channel member. For kind of additional little perks about being a channel member might include, you'd have custom emojis, you'll have a little kind of it's done by troopers, so you'll have like a little symbol next to your name, a different type of trooper, really like a trooper helmet, depending on how long you've been a channel member for. And you know, the longer you spend as a channel member, they change over time, so that is greatly appreciated. If you obviously get priority response in the live chats and in the comments, I typically respond to anyone. If anyone goes through the trouble of writing a comment on the videos, I typically do respond, like, unless they're troll comments, and then I just fuck with them or block them. Depending on what mood I'm in. Yeah, and but it is, look, it's greatly appreciated. There's no obligation, but there are different additional perks. And if you're a Commanders tier, you have your YouTube handle displayed at the end of all the content with that Star Wars style scroll, as if you're like a producer on the as part of the channel. Greatly appreciate it. So we got Darren2501, Andre, we got Geo the Movie Canon, Andreas IB, and Dogito. We've got the Troopers tier, Parks Industries, that's previously Danny Spotchka, Stanley. We've got Vita, Tiny Art Guy, Figurecraft, Blurred Dad's Life, 1/6 Shooter Figures and Fandom, previously Evil Squeaker, Howard Potts, Ian H and Silver Fox. You're probably watching the rugby now because I think the Scots are playing at the moment. I want to, Phil, if you're watching, let me know how the Scots are doing. I think they've started already. I think they're playing Italy, so hopefully the Scots will win today. Jose G. Hernandez, Brian Wong, The Ben Thomas Show, Eddie Money Mendez, Jim Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Mike L, Ryan Smith. Of course, a lot of these people here in the channel memberships are actually regulars on the Hope Show or have been on the Hope Show before. Of course, Geo joined us for the first time there recently. We have, who else is there? Joins us sometimes. We've got 1/6 Shooters, a regular. Evil Sneaker, Figured and Fandom has been there before. Ian's a regular. Jose G's a regular. Ben Thomas Show has been on us before. Eddie Money Mendez is a regular. Jim is regular as well. So of course we have Mike L as well. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anyone there. But and of course then if you opt for the Commanders tier, you get your YouTube channel name or handle displayed at the end of all the content like this. Yeah, so thank you to all of the channel members, both Troopers and Commanders, for your ongoing support. It is appreciated. All right, so the new videos on the channel. Obviously, the Mark IV collection tour. This is the 4th collection tour that I've done, and this one I think, now there's no doubt this one is the best tour, and well, it's the best of my 4 tours that I put up in terms of well, the figures. It has the most figures. That's one. In terms of the display, I think the display with the 7 Bleedens and the module cases underneath is far better than anything I've had before. We have a tumbler there we didn't have before. There's just some more rooted figures and more in-art figures, and I'm happier with the poses, and of course CCFLs and light up LED bases and CCFL lightsabers, Neo LED lightsabers, and some Fusion Reactors kit as well, and I'm happy with the poses. Like, so yeah, so in terms of my 4 collection tours, for what it's worth, I think this one is the best one I've done so far. It's the one I'm most proud of. I'm really happy with the display at the moment, so yeah, definitely an overwhelming feeling of gratitude, so blessed. This is my review on the in-art Superman from Batman vs Superman, and yeah, spoiler alert, I absolutely love it. There's no business being this good. This is a red screen. Okay, I think we're good. This tells me to move on, and we're ready to I'm going to explain really what we're going to be doing here. So I'll explain it in this way actually. So there's kind of like a new segment on the Hope Show. Anytime you hear that clip, you'll know that one of my waitlists has converted. And I typically don't buy from Sideshow. Again, if you're watching this and you've heard this already, I do apologize. But here in Ireland, if I buy something from outside the EU, I'm subject to VAT at 23%, and then there's customs import. And all that together can end up being about 30% additional. Like, so just to try and explain this, I'm going to try and explain this with a specific example, and I'll come back to this. So if I was to, for example, I suppose I'll get an Iron Man figure. You know, I'll do the example with may as well do one with which is actually on that I do have an interest in, one that's actually on the one that's actually what am I trying to say? Use your words. One that's actually an artisan that's on the wait list. That's what I'm saying. So if I take a look at this here, so if we just take a look at the artisan Winter Soldier that's just been put up for pre-order, that was limited to 3,000. So that says $430 there. All right, so this figure is $430. Now when I click into this, it's going to change to euro, but it's not much of a difference. It's 429 euro. They're nearly one for one, really, the dollar and the euro. But I'm gonna use this as an example. Like this is gonna be like a microcosm for why I typically don't order from Sideshow. And there's no shade on Sideshow. It's nothing to do with them. It's just Ireland revenue, import tax, VAT, EU regulations. So Sideshow can't help that. So this is not giving out about Sideshow, just explaining. So if I take, for example, that's $430. Now let me see if I get this right. I want to stop this. Do we want to do this? Bear with me. Okay. I think they've changed something here, have they? Oh no, I got it here now. I got it here. I should have. Sorry, folks, we're just joining us. I'm actually trying to do something specific, and it's not letting me. I have it here now. Grand, I have it here. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see my calculator now, and I'll be able to. Right, so let's take. We just looked at, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier from the Winter Soldier, the artisan version that it was been waitlisted. That's $430. Now, if I was to add that to my cart, it'll be $50 shipping. And I know there's probably Americans watching now going, "That's insane." But anyone based in Ireland or in the UK, or anyone based in, like, say, England, Scotland, Wales, or even Europe, like you're talking like $50 realistically. So I'm going to add on $50. Now the VAT rate is 23%. So typically when I order stuff outside the European Union, I get subjected to that. But it's 23%. It actually works out about 30 because there's VAT and then there's like import and customs. So there's two different things. Roughly 30% basically. So the cost of the figure and the shipping added together, that's what the 30% is calculated on. It's not just it's goods and services. It's not just the figure, because then it would be lower. So if I just multiply that by 1.3, that's what the Winter Soldier would cost me. So it's probably like 620 euro. It's not worth that. Like, to be honest, I don't know, is it even worth $430, to be honest? So that's why I typically don't order from Sideshow. Kind of have a good thing going with Lion Rock. I order directly from Lion Rock. Why? Because free worldwide shipping. So there's $50 saved straight away. Whatever way they ship it, I don't have to pay customs or import on. That's like, what was that there? Like 144? Would that be 144? I think it was. Just like if you had like, that was 614. So 614 minus the cost of if you 480, yeah. So that's like 134. So 134, which is roughly going to be what the customs is going to be. And then the $50 shipping, that's nearly $200 saved. So like realistically, it's unsustainable. It's fine if you're doing it once or twice, but that's why I typically don't order from Sideshow. Which brings me to why we're doing this particular stream. Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, so if I'm going to present, what I'll do, I'll bring up. Yeah, I'll just bring up the waitlist now. So I'm going to show you my Sideshow account. Obviously, it's not a page with any contact details or personal details or credit card information or anything like that. It's just the my waitlist reservations. So the only time I'll order from Sideshow is if you say, if I constantly, every now and then they'll do an event like a spooktacular or a Sideshow summer showcase, or do an event at the moment there, and every time you register, if you have an account, you register for the event, you get $5, $6, maybe $10. Before you know it, you've got $40 or $50 just sitting there, which is essentially free money, which hats off to Sideshow for that. And then if you pair that with something that's 20% off or 25%, even 30% off, and it is something that you've been looking at, then often you offset the price of the shipping and the customs, so you end up getting it at retail, which isn't bad. Now, sometimes I can actually still get it cheap from Hong Kong, so it's on a case-by-case basis. So I did a little experiment. I hopped on, when the artisan craze started, probably about a year ago, whatever, I hopped on all the waitlists. So I hopped on the waitlist for, I think I've just broke my chair. No, I haven't. It's moved out a bit though. Right, so when Sideshow started doing the artisan figures and stuff like that, I was like, right, I'm gonna join the waitlist for all of the artisan figures. So we're gonna take a look at them. So in no particular order, you should be able to see the screen here. I'm scrolling up and down. So these aren't in particular order, right? So you've got Artisan God Loki, Artisan Black Widow, the special edition and the regular edition. You've got the Artisan Iron Spider. You've got the Artisan Joker. You've got the Artisan Winter Soldier. You've got the Moon Knight Artisan, Harley Quinn, the Imposter Joker, the Luke Skywalker Dark Empire Artisan, and Jack Sparrow and Scarlet Witch Artisan editions. All right, so there's some of the artisans there. So I've joined the waitlist for the artisan figures. So the reason I'm doing this, multiple different reasons. One, the artisan thing, this exclusive thing, generated this hype, which I think a lot of the time is fake. I do think you're going to be able to get these figures after. Whether that's people who get hyped up and order the figure don't actually want the figure, or where is it just people get bored of the figure and end up in BSTs. Now, some of them, they're not always going to go like that. There's some of them that will probably creep up and they'll double in price or whatever, and it'll just be like, that'll be the one that everyone will want and it'll be very, very hard to get, and that'll inevitably probably happen as well. But I do think, like, in terms of if you hop on the waitlist and you want something, chances are you will actually get it. So there's one thing, it's just a little experiment. I want to see are these as hard to get as Hot Toys and Sideshow and the community are kind of like putting out there. Second thing then, if I can't get it from Lion Rock or other sources, and I'm kind of trying to hedge my bets, and I'm like, right, okay, look, this will be more expensive from Sideshow, but I can't get it from somewhere else, which would be unlikely. I just want to back up, I guess. Third thing then is sometimes I'll get an artist, I'll get a waitlist conversion, and I'll know that my friend is dying to have that figure and has been looking for it and missed out. And I'll reach out to them and go, look, I've had a conversion there. Do you want this? I'll help you out. And sometimes I'll just pop up. By the way, if it pops up and I have no interest in it, like as in, like, let's say God Loki there, if that waitlist converted and like I've no interest in that figure, and if I don't know any of my friends who want it, straight away I'm going to go, no, decline, throw it back in the sea, because someone out there wants that fish. Okay, someone out there wants that God Loki, and I'm not going to hold it hostage. It'll be just like, right, point proven, I can get this if I want. The waitlist isn't as like sewn up as these artisans aren't as impossible to get as maybe some people think, and then going, right, I don't want it, but I want someone else to have it, so I'll just decline. I won't get it. But then sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I want that one and I haven't secured it from someone else, or you know what, I want to see how this turns out. I want to see what the fuss is, what all the hype is about this artist, and I want to see if they're that good or not. Or maybe I give it away in a giveaway, or maybe I touch base with one of my friends and kind of go, here, you were looking for this, do you want me to sort you out this? You can send me the money, whatever. So I just want to, this one here. So when you hear this on the Hope Show or any of the live streams, that's a sign then that one of my waitlists has converted. One of the items on my waitlist has converted, and inevitably we're gonna chat and talk about it. So before I go on, I'm just gonna have a look at the chat and see who's there. You called me handsome, but used the feminine pronoun, but I'll take it. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna have to work on that, but look, I was speaking Spanish, man. I was speaking Spanish. I'll work on it. Valkyrie Magnus, how are you doing? We got Mike L. He's a big deal around here. People know him. How you doing, Mike? You good? Rogue One, keep you in the loop. 18-9 to Scotland. Good. I hope Scotland win. I think Scotland are improving over the last few years in tournaments. Also, Phil, yeah, keep me in the loop about that, please. Just give us updates. Just let me know if Italy actually take the lead or draw. I don't think that's going to happen, but King Black Bolt, how are you doing? We got how you figured Justin with the I suppose a stereotypical let's go. Okay. Thanks very much, Justin, for being here. And I'm absolutely doing well. I got a long weekend here. So I got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I've had a great day today. I got up at the crack of dawn, ran 12k, jumped into the ice bath, which was 4 degrees for 5 minutes. That nearly killed me. Got organised for the stream, a few other things to do as well. And making burritos later on. I'm going to watch the Ireland match. I mean, you got to appreciate the simple things, don't you? And I was listening to you actually when I was doing a call there. We got one of those in Ireland. I don't know if they do this in America, but every now and then you get this like charity sticker posted in your door, and it just says, you know, instead of throwing out your old clothes, you know, if they're in good condition and you're past them, you don't want them anymore, donate them to charity. And you just get like a big like refuse bag, big black bag or whatever like that. Put your old clothes inside there instead of dumping them, and slap the sticker out and leave it on a certain day, and they people collect them, and then people can get good use out of them. So, you know, if you buy something or whatever and it doesn't fit you, or it kind of, you know, the color doesn't look well on you, or you just, it was a bad call. But yeah, I was kind of rooting through stuff and doing a bit of a call, and I was listening to your stream from yesterday. You really like that horror, don't you? You really like that horror. That is the vibe I was getting. That is the vibe you were putting out. Show the red screen again. I was really enjoying that. Shiny. Are you joking? Scotland 19, Italy 19. Let me see now. The last thing you showed me. I'll go back to that previous score. It was 9-19 to Scotland. So what's the gap there? That means they're 10 points ahead. So did they get a try, a conversion, and a penalty? They must have. Yeah, let me know. Is that the only combination? Because if they were 10 points ahead, then Italy would have to get 10 points. So it would be a penalties 3 and then try and a conversion. I presume that's what they got. I don't know. Is there another combination? Well, they hardly got 3 penalties. Well, that's still only be 9 points. But yeah, let us know. I need that Bane. In fairness, the Bane is incredible. The Bane is incredible. And if you watch, I don't know, like I watched Will's interview with Inart, the CEO, and your man John, and the Inart CEO was saying, no, we're not going to do Bane because, like, basically Hot Toys did a great job. So when Inart are praising Hot Toys or something, you know it's good. We got Calvin Low Key Collector. How you doing, man? What are you doing today? You in Disneyland? Are you working? Are you driving? Are you going to that shop? What's that shop? That collectibles shop you and Mario are always going on about? I can't remember the name, but we got Feel the Burn. Thanks very much for being here. Good to see you. We got Calvin. Shane, why does it take these companies, i.e. Hot Toys or statues, waiting for send... Shane, why does it take these companies, like Hot Toys or statues, waiting for the send is no fun for... Alright. By the time... Alright. So, yeah, I'd say the first part of that is I don't know, but yeah, it's unfortunate. These things, the idea of putting a pre-order on something, not getting it for 18 months later, if you explain that to anyone, they'd be like, that's stupid. Because people just want things now. But that's just the model they're using. So, and what's unfortunate is, like, when they do get released, you're absolutely right. When they do get released, and they're out in Hong Kong, and then Sideshow don't ship their stuff for like 3 or 4 months after, or whatever, or even, like, you know, Hong Kong based resellers or whatever, it is frustrating. And yeah, it's annoying. If you're in art, they're doing it right now. Like, I mean, I ordered Paul day one and, you know, no sign of it, whereas other people have it. So yeah, that is frustrating. But the second part of by the time they come, most of us have moved on to the next thing. That's completely on you, man. And that's no disrespect to you, but that's like, people sometimes in the collecting world are a bit fickle and impulsive, and that doesn't really go well with collecting. It's a recipe for disaster. So the first part of that statement, you absolutely have a point. It can be frustrating if you paid for something and it's released in Hong Kong, and the person that, or the company that you bought it from, maybe that's Sideshow, or maybe it's someone in England, or maybe it's a Hong Kong based reseller, and they're not shipping your stuff. That is frustrating. But the second part, that's a completely like that's on the proverbial you, or that's on the collector. Like if you got bored of it, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't order it in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, it's happened to me before, but typically doesn't happen that much because I'm very, very selective. Like, I mean, you've heard me probably talk about triple threats. Like, you know, say if you take, before I'm putting my hand in my pocket and, you know, shelling out hard-earned cash, or cash, I never use cash. Before I'm entering the credit card details and buying something or PayPal on something, 9 times out of 10, maybe even higher, it has to be a triple threat. I have to love the character, love the source material, love that version of the character. And even like a fourth part that I've been doing recently is, will you love this in 10 years time? And that's hard to tell, but if the answer is yes, then okay, you've got something, you're not going to change your mind. And for example, the DX46, that's the new battle damage T800 2.0 from Terminator 2. Do I love this character? Hell yeah. It's a Terminator, man. It's a cultural icon. 2 of the best movies ever made. And there only is 2. Second one, do I love the source material? 100%. Like I said, Terminator 1 and 2, brilliant. And in this case, Terminator 2. And do I love this version? Yes. I mean, that could mean a lot of things. That could mean how it looked on screen, but also how the figure looks. You've got leather jackets. You know, and I have the DX13. Like, I'm not selling it because it's signed by Robert Patrick, the box. So, but the DX13 is one of the best ones ever done. So even if they make this marginally better, like if the head sculpt's incredible, but if they just make the head sculpt even a little bit better and the paint applications better, because the devil is in the detail, the little better could be worth the money. And then they got the it was a light up diorama base. They've got that gas canister launcher that wasn't included with the DX13. Of course, then you've got the star of the show, really real leather, two jackets, one battle damage, one not. The pants all leather. So that's like, you know, so I love that version. Will I love it in 10 years? I've loved that movie since I was like 8. So that's a yeah. So like, again, like it's a great comment because it's led to this kind of tangent. But collectors getting bored with things, I like if you find that you order something, and I'm not saying you, I mean you people in general, if you order something and you're noticing then when it arrives in a year's time and you're like, I don't want this, or I don't like this, and that happens a few times, stop ordering, take a step back, work out what's important and what's not, and hopefully that will happen a lot less. So I hope I've answered your question there. You're going golfing, man. Okay. Do you golf? Are you good? Well, the hands like this suggest it's just something you're giving it a go. Maybe 9 holes. Like I've never played golf before. I like playing pitch and putt, which is like a smaller version, but a significantly smaller version. But I think after even playing pitch and putt, 18 holes, like my mind kind of goes after the first. I'm concentrating for the first like 9, and after that it's like useless. And well, probably useless for the first 9 to be fair. Collectors Republic, hello from Montreal, Canada. I'm a big fan of Canada. Been to Toronto, Vancouver, been snowboarding in Whistler twice. Absolutely love Whistler. I want to go to Banff. There's another place as well in Canada. Is it Lake Louise? Oh, that could be in the States now. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Lake Louise, Canada. I think, yeah, Lake Louise is in Canada. That's yeah, that's a place you can snowboard with. So I'm looking forward to go there. I want to go to Banff anyway. But yeah, I like Canada. I like Canadian people as well. Yeah, I'm glad you saw my point on that. You got to be careful. It's too expensive to make missteps. All right, so back to this then. So, having done this, I was on the waitlist for Artisan Red Suit Joker. It converted. I know that Eddie was a massive fan of the first movie and hated the second movie. He had the 4-pack in art on order, cancelled it after seeing the second movie. And then when he saw it, he initially thought, okay, it didn't look too great. Then he saw Dean Knight's unboxing reviews, which, let's face it, was incredible. If you want to see how good those figures are, that's the review you want to be watching. And he said, no, actually, no, they did a great job with it, but he'd already cancelled it. And I think he was looking for this, and my waitlist converted. So before I threw it back and just went, okay, just note that waitlist converted. I didn't want to hold it hostage for someone who wanted it, so I reached out to Eddie and said, Eddie, do you want this? I can get it. You can send me the money as payment plan or whatever. And he said, yeah, grand, go for it. So yeah, so hopefully that works out. And then last week, this one converted as well. It wasn't the special edition, it was the regular one. But this is the only artisan figure I do currently have on pre-order, and I have it on pre-order with Lion Rock Toys. They're trying to get me the special edition one. So I am excited to see how this turns out, because the hair looks stunning, the outfit looks stunning, that head sculpt looks incredible. So yeah, so that's kind of a new part to the show. So I wanted to do this live stream just to go down through the actual waitlist and kind of talk about these different figures, or the plan if and when they do convert. All right, so we are 32 minutes in. There's 31 people watching live. Much appreciated. Please click the like button. No, I mean seriously, please click the like button. It costs you nothing. It really helps the channel. It gets the live stream out more people watch, and it's just very supportive of the channel. So if you're watching, take that second just to click that like button. And if you're not subscribed, take a second to subscribe, please. So Calvin says, my first time out, brother-in-law is taking me. I don't need any more expensive hobbies. Absolutely. Golf clubs are not cheap. And joining like literally the physical clubs you hold and play with, but the actual memberships from the clubs are insane. Yeah. Golf and motorbikes and collecting. Oh, Jose, this is a great question. Is my 2-pack? Yeah, where do I have the thing? I'm surprised this didn't get me demonetized the last time. So I was waiting on my 4-pack. In fairness, 2-pack's music is incredible. I'm more of a Biggie fan though, to be honest. Although I recognize they're both like genius for their time. But yeah. Okay, so the 4-pack had a bit of a scare yesterday, Jose. Everything was going fine, got the tracking, it was moving. It did the usual thing where it was like, you know, Line Rock, give me the tracking, and then it started moving there, and it got to the airport there, and usually there's a few days where you get no tracking, or I don't know, the airport, probably sea freight, I don't know, but there's usually like a few days there, anywhere between 3 days to a week, where there's no update on the tracking they have, and then bang, it arrives in Dublin, arrives in the country, passes customs, then it goes to Dublin sorting, then it goes to the town I'm living in, and then it out for delivery. Yeah, usually takes anywhere between a week and 2 weeks. This one though, it kind of got the usual tracking, started moving, got the notification saying it had, you know, departed the country of origin, and then like sometime last week got the notification it was in the country and had been sorted, and I was in my local sorting, the DSU, the district sorting unit or whatever. But then it went back to Dublin. And I was like, that sorting place is just like 10 minutes up the road from me, 5 minutes up the road from me. And why is it going back to Dublin? I didn't get any notification for customs either, because sometimes with those big boxes, I do get hit with a small customs fee. And I was, you know, I'd pay it obviously, but so tracked it on an app, Aftership. It's actually a great app. Then went on to the local postal service here, tracked it there, could see it, and it wasn't giving me any information, just said it was in Dublin, said it was being sorted. I was like, right, okay. Then I saw there's a little button you can click to pay customs. I was like, you know what, I haven't got any notification. Usually I get a text or an email saying your customs is due, pay this, and then we'll release it. Clicked onto the pay customs tab, even though I got no notification, and it said the period for paying customs on this item has expired. We're shipping it back, returning it back to sender. And they had the correct sender's name, the guy or person who's in charge of Lion Rock that ships me stuff. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I didn't get any notification saying pay your imports or your customs. So, right. Checked back to my messages, nothing there. Checked my mail, nothing there. Checked my junk mail, nothing there. Went on to the live chat, gave them the tracking number, said, look, this is the situation. I was tracking this, all was going well. It was at my local sorting centre. Now it's back in Dublin. And then when I went on to pay customs, even though I didn't get any notification, I just clicked on the customs button. They said that I'm getting a notification saying that because I didn't pay the customs and the period for paying the customs had expired, it's been returned to sender. What's the story? And they said, after a while, your man goes, no, there's actually, your package was like, victim to a computer maintenance, a computer error. So this will be delivered next week. So yeah, hopefully that definitely give me more peace of mind, because if that gets shipped back, then I got to contact Lion Rock. That will take about a week or 2 weeks to get back to them, and then another 2 weeks to get back to me. It's ridiculous. So and it's not their fault. It's just it's on Post. It's the Irish Postal Services error. So there's some sort of they said it was some sort of a computer error. It's fine. It's in Dublin. It'll be sorted and posted next week. What it could be, basically they made a mistake. What it could be, we had a storm here last Friday, and it was in the country, I believe, last Friday. And so we had a storm, and like 560,000 homes were without power or water. And I mean, Ireland, really, there's only 5 million in Ireland in the Republic, so it's not, that's a large percentage of homes without power, and that's homes, not people. So obviously there was chaos for a lot of businesses, so I'm putting it down to that. Hopefully it'll arrive next week. But yeah, good question. This is funny, Mark Attack. Calvin, I knew you did well, but didn't realize you were I play golf wealthy. That is good. I like that. That is funny. Calvin's a full-on baller, man. So, right, with these, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, because what I'll do is, how I'm going to approach this is, I'll go down through them and go, look, I've no interest in this. And the ones that I do have an interest in, or kind of a partial interest in, I want to kind of outline what I'll do if the waitlist converts. That's the point. Right, so first of all, God Loki, absolutely no interest in. So this is an experiment to see if the waitlist will convert or not. So if this was to convert, I just throw it straight back into the sea. I'm going to focus on the ones that I've no interest in first. Moon Knight, the same. And of course, all of these, some of them I'll probably, because it's all well and good saying, oh yeah, I can get it for someone, and then you have to then you have to kind of go, oh, by the way, that's X amount of money and stuff like that, or it's the payment's coming out, and I don't want to be doing that for several different figures. I don't want to get into that. I don't want people reaching out to me going, oh, I heard you're on the waitlist for all them, and I heard your Moon Knight converted, can I have it? No, I don't want that. I'm not doing that. It's different for friends the likes of Eddie, or lads who I stream with or whatever. I don't want to have the hassle of random people going, oh yeah, you're hardly converted, can I have it? So with Moon Knight, again, if if Jose wanted it, or Phil or whatever like that, and it did convert, I give him the heads up first anyway. But essentially no interest in Moon Knight. I throw that one back into the sea, or offer it to the Boys in the Hope Show. Pardon. Same as Harley, same as the Imposter Joker, same as Luke Skywalker, same as Jack Sparrow. And the Artisan Scarlet Witch, I just have a feeling that you're probably going to be able to get that. Well, because it's two SKUs, because it's sculpted as well. And to be honest, I do have a few endgame display, and while I'm not... I do have a few figures from Endgame that I have on display, and while I'm not out in a rush to get a Scarlet Witch, if I did, I get the sculpted one, because I reckon maybe this one is the one that'll be hard to get. This one, the one that might climb up in the aftermarket, but the sculpted one, then I'd imagine it'd be a bit easier to obtain if I want it in the future. That's when you just wait. If the time is right and things are slow and it makes sense and you see one for a deal and it's the sculpted version, probably go for that. Just for the simple reason that all the Endgame figures I have are sculpted. Now I'm going to contradict myself now, because I do like that Artisan Iron Spider. Okay, so the ones I actually do want to talk about. So I'm not going to talk about Scarlet Witch, Jack Sparrow, Luke Skywalker, Dark Empire Edition, the Imposter Joker, the Harley Quinn, the Moon Knight. They're not ones I I don't want them in my collection. I don't even want them to get into review. If one of the lads I knew was looking for one of them, fair enough, I would I'd facilitate that. But yeah, so in terms of the top ones, then same as God Loki as well. So the ones I do have kind of some sort of an interest in, the Black Widow, obviously that one is on order with Line Rock. It's the only Artisan figure that I have on order with Line Rock, or with in general. It's the only Artisan figure I have on order. That one there, if it converted, like it already did convert during the week, and I just threw it back in, so I've kind of answered that. But I do want to actually take a look at that. I want to take a look at the Black Widow, have a little bit of a chat about the Iron Spider, the Joker Artisan, and then of course the Winter Soldier, and kind of go through, if the waitlist converts, what my plan would be. All right, so let's have a look at the Artisan Black Widow, because I do think this one is incredible. All right, do we have it? I'm just getting the correct photos up. Okay, so this one here, what's the price on this one? This is $385. They're both of them the special edition, which comes with the Iron Man gauntlet, which she never actually wore in the movie. I think it's from a cutscene, but in the theatrical release, or DVD or Blu-ray 4K release or whatever, she did not actually use the gauntlet on screen. $385 for both the special and the regular. I'm going to address the chat before I move on any further. As a fellow European, I share your pain with these artisans. You can get them. You just have to go to Hong Kong if you're comfortable with that. Feel the burn. I only have Moon Knight and Harley Artisan PO'd. In fairness, that Moon Knight is one of the best prototypes head sculpts I've ever seen. Scotland 31 and Italy 19, 10 minutes left. Surely that's Scotland's game. Ian will be happy. Alright, so just take a quick look at this. Now normally, I think this, with this particular figure is not necessarily something I typically collect. Because I mentioned earlier about being a triple threat. So do I love the character? I wouldn't say I love the character, but I like the character Black Widow, and I like Scarlett Johansson's portrayal. Do I love the movie Iron Man 2? I wouldn't say no. How do I say this? Like, it's a fun movie. I like watching it. I think it gets an unnecessary amount of abuse, but I don't think it's a masterpiece. I think it's maybe 3.5 star. Maybe I don't think I give it 4 stars, to be honest. Like if I look, even like, where I'm going with this, but like if I take Iron Man 2, and if we look at it like this, is it an awful movie? Is it a 1-star movie? Like I give them 1 star for just making an effort. Like that's fair. Participation trophy. 1 star if you made a movie. Maybe a 0.5 star. But if a movie's awful, I'd be like, okay, 1 star. They made a movie. It's awful. 2 stars, I'd be like, it's grand. It's not a great movie. It's not a good movie. I'll never watch it again. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not great either. 3 stars is a good movie. The example I use is Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is a good movie. Maybe even I'm being harsh on it. I don't think it's an excellent movie. I think parts of it are excellent. The casting of Henry Cavill, the suit design, the music is incredible. The scenes when he's a kid, hiding in the school, and they're showing like him, like how he's gaining his, he's gradually being exposed to his powers. He's like, been able to x-ray through the teacher's face, and he can hear all the people whispering and talking about him, and he's overwhelmed by all these, the sensitive nature of his powers. Him attempting to fly for the first time, fantastic. The casting of Kevin Costner, the relationship between him and Kevin Costner, the scene in the bar where like this, this guy can just absolutely destroy this guy, and the guy deserved to be smacked around the place because he was a bully. But the fact that he just doesn't, and the guy goes to push him, and he's like, may as well be pushing the wall. All those scenes are excellent. They are incredible. But I just think maybe it gets let down by actually some of the fight scenes. Some of them are great, and some of the fight scenes when they're in the air fighting just didn't really do it for me. It's just something. Anyway, I'm going off on a side tangent. Man of Steel, 3-star movie, solid. It's a good movie. The 5-star ones, I know Gio's here, he wants to hear The Matrix, and he's right, because it is a 5-star movie. The 2 Alien movies, the first 2 Terminator movies, or should I say, the 2 Terminator movies. Dune 2 is a masterpiece, okay? Yeah, so like, when you look at Iron Man 2, I mean, is it an awful movie? No. Is it just fine? No, I think it's a solid movie as well. I think it's 3 stars. I don't think it's terrible. It's not an excellent movie. It's definitely not a masterpiece. But it had some incredible scenes. The Formula 1 track scene, incredible. The whole intro, him jumping out of the plane, and the whole Stark Expo and the cockiness, class. Justin Hammer's character, Sam Rockwell, just hilarious. The design of the War Machine Mark 1, the kill box scene at the end, it's just class scenes, like, you know. So there's a lot. I think Iron Man 2 gets an unnecessary amount of abuse. Yeah, it's not a masterpiece, it's not an excellent movie, but yeah, so do I love the character? I like the character. Do I love the movie, the source material Iron Man 2? I like Iron Man 2. Do I love this version though? Yes. Like, in fairness, like, it looks incredible. Like, look at it. The head sculpt is fantastic. The hair is fantastic. Now, it needs to turn out like this, with minimum futzing. It needs to come out of the cylinder like this. Minimum futzing required. The suit itself looks fantastic. I'll be honest, I'll probably pose it with that gauntlet once the gauntlet isn't going to do any damage. The proportions on the suit, very strong, very feminine, screen accurate, looks fantastic. So you got a separate rolling eyeballs function. You got the artisan lamb wool implanted hair. The magnetic base. I'm a big fan of the magnetic bases. I know in arts people have had problems with them, and I know they're kind of geared. I don't like that way. I don't like the way that, because some people have had issues with them, and I don't like the track mechanism they have, but I don't like the way they're shying away from them now. I want them to perfect that, as opposed to, you know, look at what's not working and fix it, as opposed to just abandoning ship. But yeah, so look, I think it's a great representation of Scarlett Johansson. Hopefully it turns out as good as this. I'd be a bit skeptical though. It's very hard, like, it wouldn't surprise me if this is one of those head sculpts that comes out and people are like, the first image you see is from a phone at like point blank range, and it warps the proportions, and everyone go, oh my god, this is awful. And it might take a small downgrade, but then that initial photo gives the impression that it's like a 4 out of 10, and then everyone gets up in arms and stuff like this. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some slippage on this, because it looks so goddamn good. But anyway, I have it on order. I'm looking forward to getting it. It wouldn't look out of place in the row here with the Mark 6. That's the thing. Like, how did I forget? Like, probably the best thing to come out of Iron Man 2, the Mark 6 suit. It's my favorite Iron Man design. It's a perfect blend of not nanotech, has a guy in a suit, has that chunkiness, has that traditional look of the the kind of candy apple red and the gold and a bit of silver, and it has the triangular arc. So it's enough of like the Mark 3 look, but it's a bit leaner than the Mark 3, and I really like the triangular shaped arc reactor. So it's back there with the War Machine Mark 1, and she'll look great, you know, in or around either side of them. So yeah, looking forward to this on PO, the only artisan that I actually have on pre-order. So let's go back to this here again. So we spoke about that. Now the Iron Spider, I had the original Iron Spider, the non-artisan version. Head sculpt to Tom Holland, wasn't great. I also found the neck was a bit long. It had that, it didn't light up, like the head lit up, but a head lit up with batteries. The as far, I didn't actually realize until I saw this, but that the pincers, the legs were underscaled. The suit didn't light up at all, and the suit, it didn't heal itself very well. It was kind of like that sticky, kind of plasticky rubberized suit, and when you bent it, there was really unsightly creases, and it's funny, like, because it's like, it'd be natural if someone was in like a Spider-Man suit, when they you know, when they're fighting or moving or doing their superhero landing or stretching or whatever they're doing, they're going to have wrinkles in the suit. That's fine, but there'll be smaller wrinkles. Whereas the wrinkles on those suits, they're kind of the same size wrinkle on a 1/6 scale suit, so it looks more egregious than it actually is. And they don't really heal themselves. Like I remember, like you putting it from a dynamic pose back to neutral, you needed to kind of like massage the suit around so that the knees were still over the kneecaps and so forth. So not great. That's one of the ones I sold on. I thought I really liked the Iron Spider suit. A lot of people don't. I do, and it got a lot of screen time. If you look at the Mark 6, the Mark 6 gets a massive amount of screen time. It's not just Iron Man 2, it's also in the Avengers movie, and some really, really good scenes in the Avengers movie. Like that whole initial fight between Thor and Cap and Iron Man when they're trying to basically get Loki. Like that's all Mark 6, you know, like a lot of the initial scenes, the helicarrier scenes, before he gets everything up until he gets to Mark 7, he's in the Mark 6. So with the Iron Spider, of course, when do you first see it? You first see it in Infinity War. You see it again in Endgame, 2 epic movies. You see it in Far From Home, and you see it like in that scene with Doc Ock on the bridge, which is incredible. So like, yeah, I really like the Iron Spider suit, but I don't think the original one did it justice. So I'm really talking myself into this one. So I think what I'd do if this converted, I'd pay a deposit on it. And I'd still try to get it elsewhere, because I reckon you could get it cheaper. And it would still be cheaper for me to put the deposit on if I hadn't found it. And if I found it cheaper elsewhere, even if I had to lose my NRD. I've never lost an NRD. Because I usually, like Sideshow, in fairness, you can actually swap NRDs from one thing to another. I've done it before. I've never actually just flat out lost an NRD. But like the price that Line Rock would give me, even if it was the same as this retail, I wouldn't have to pay shipping and it wouldn't take Compass. So if I lost an NRD, it would still work out better. But yeah, I want to take a look at this Iron Spider because sorry, I disappeared there for a minute or two. 37 people watching live. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Could you also subscribe if you're not? I love Scarlett Johansson and love this MCU debut look too, 100%. Black Widow looks so good. Shane, Hot Toys, is it Artisan, the rooted hair? And in arts, okay, rooted hair is the hair that looks like actual hair and that's not plastic. So the generic term is rooted hair. Artisan is the name of the figures, these kind of figures that Hot Toys are doing that typically have rooted hair or this lamb's wool implantation hair. So typically Artisan figures have this rooted hair that looks like actual hair. We have seen some figures that have the lamb's wool implanted hair, like Beetlejuice, that wasn't branded an Artisan, so it's hard to know. But yeah, when we say Artisan, typically, yeah, it has the rooted hair. So thanks for that. What a time for this today. Catch yourself on. Listen, man, my country aren't playing for another 45 minutes. I can do this all day. And when I say all day, I mean 45 minutes. And Scotland won, so you should be happy enough, Ian. No problem. Yeah, so rooted hair is the hair that looks like hair. Sculpted is the hair that looks like plastic. And when we say Hot Toys Artisan, typically it is the rooted hair. Right, let's take a look at this Iron Spider. Okay, there has to be a way of doing this quicker. I think... this might be quicker. All right. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good, but it really is dependent on that hair. I think there's a sculpted version as well. There is. There's the sculpted version, and there's the rooted version. Now, what I really like about this, I'm going to flick through this And I'll go back. I want to go actually to this particular slide. So he's got like separate rolling eyeballs function. He's got the artisan hair or the rooted hair or the lamb's wool implantation hair. He's got magnetically attached pincers, and I believe they are true scale or more accurate. They're bigger than the previous version, because I think the previous version's pincers were underscaled. And it's got some LED light up parts as well, like all the little lights and stuff on the suit. They did not light up for the original thing. The only thing lit up on the original Item Spider were the eyes, and they were LED button cell batteries. Whereas this suit lights up, and it's by like USB. He's got kind of a rock base as well, probably, and he's got the nano gauntlet as well, and a bunch of swap out different eyes. So like the head sculpt looks great. The hair, if it turns out like this, looks great. You've got a bit of damage on his face as well, so I imagine this is branded, oh pardon me, branded Endgame, so that makes sense. So let's have a look through some of these. You got the instant kill eyes. Yeah, this is something. There you have. So he's got like he looks like he's got bruising on his kind of cheekbones, a bit under his left nostril, and his eyes as well. I hope the artisan hair turns out. It really is with the artisan figures. It's the rooted hair which makes or break it, really. Like, I'm not 100% sold on that artisan Joker rooted hair. I mean, I think it looks good, but I don't think the hairline is accurate, and I think there's too much hair on it. The same way as the Bucky. You need to thin out the hair a bit. I love that. So this guy's going to come with his own base. It's just a rock base. It's really simple, though. You could use it with different things. He's got Mjolnir. So that's when he was swinging along. Mjolnir was thrown past him, and he attached via web onto it and was dragged along in midair by it. And he's got the nano gauntlet, the rooted lamb's wool implanted hair, a fantastic head sculpt which has some kind of battle damage, bruising, blood on it. You got the pincers, and I really like the light up LED functions. Like, this looks incredible. I'm totally talking myself into this, but I wonder what the suit material will be like. That looks deadly. That looks really cool. Be very hard to pose him though with the mask when the head sculpt is this good. But I suppose if you've multiple Spider-Men, then you pose one with the best head sculpt off, maybe. All LED light up points powered by USB. That means the head as well, wouldn't it? I mean, it says all LED light up points powered by USB, and they're talking about the stuff. There's his eyes light up, so they should be USB, and the body lights up as well. That's what it's suggesting. Because I actually thought it was just the body and not the head. The proportions look better as well. So I had the one on the right, sold it on. So now when you look at it, you really see those pincers were tiny. I didn't realize that until I kind of seen the comparison photos. I think he looks broader on the one on the left and a bit bigger, slightly bigger. Yeah, so this is one I think if the waitlist converted, I'd drop a deposit. Alright, so let's have a look at another one. We got 38 people still with us watching live. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm going to look at another one. We're going to wrap up soon. Okay. Light up eye will look so good. All that rooted hair will stay in the tube for some people. Probably will. Okay, so the next one I want to take a look at. Yeah, so Black Widow on order. Iron Spider, yeah, I consider this one's an interesting one. The Artisan Joker. No, I'm not going to talk about this because I'm happy with the in-art one. If this converted, I just reach out to the Hope Show guys and go, right folks, who's looking for this? Anyone want this? Do you want me to help you out getting it? Or I might get it in and review it, but that is an expensive review. That is an expensive review, and inevitably I'm probably going to get rid of it. Then again, maybe you get it in, you love it. I think that this one, I think the Artisan Rooted, if that converted, it'd be a case of reach out to kind of people I stream it or people that I'm friends with, and just kind of go, look, any of you looking for this? But I have the right to change my mind. Not sure. And finally, the Winter Soldier Artisan Edition. Yeah, that'd be one that I probably would hang on to as well. But I can't really do this for reasons I outlined at the start. It's fine every once in a while when I cannot secure something from HK, from Line Rock. But it's unsustainable really to buy, for me to buy off Sideshow because of the shipping, $50 on your standard 6 scale. And like, don't get me started on like a 2-pack or in a big 6 scale figure or a quarter scale figure. The shipping is considerably bigger. A vehicle, forget it. Yeah, so like every now and then if I can't find something in Hong Kong for cheaper, or can't find it in general, it's nice to like a backup if it manages to convert. I think we're done, folks. I think we're done. Yeah, I just want to do that short one. I'm really happy with I'm really happy with how the collection looks behind me there. Just yeah, check out that collection tour if you haven't done so already. So hello Dave. Not sure what the woe's about. What was the woe about? Clarify. Come on, clarify. Yeah, so stay tuned, folks. So when I go live, and whether it's on the Hope Show or live in general, if and when you hear this, that means one of the waitlists have converted. It'd be a nice little experiment. What did he say? Waitlist, can you cancel if you don't want to? Yeah, of course you can. Basically how the waitlist works is you hop on it, and then if some people cancel, they send you out an email saying you have until this date to buy this if you want. There you go. Yeah, so you're not committing. You don't have to pay anything. So it's an easy pass if you don't want it. I had a chance to get the Artisan Loki today, but I thought I'd stick with the standard edition. Couldn't see the benefits. Fair point. Alright, folks. I'm just going to shut things down here. Get rid of that banner. Get rid of that music. And I'll be getting out of here momentarily. Thanks very much for joining. We had about 40 people watching live at one stage. Should have 35 people. Again, if you're watching, please hit the like button. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. We'll be back. Probably do a video over the weekend. I might actually summarize my thoughts on the waitlist. And another video I have in mind as well. And otherwise, I'll probably be on Let's Get Nuts with Ben Thomas tomorrow night. And the Hope Show will return, of course, on Monday the 3rd of February in 2 days' time. Not sure what we're going to talk about, but, you know. All right, folks. I'm out of here to watch the rugby. Thanks very much. Good luck.